Yo, what's going on, my people? Welcome back to the Blakey Spirit channel. Hope you all had an amazing weekend. I certainly did, and what a weekend it was in the combat sports world. But before we get started, it was my 21st last Tuesday, so if I could all give you a moment to sing me happy birthday or give me a few happy birthday messages. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do that. You really didn't need to do that. Thank you, thank you. Now we've got that out of the way, let's get started into this week's combat sports weekend. We had Liam Smith versus Chris Eubank Jr. in Manchester on Saturday night. Would it be repeat? Would it be revenge? It was revenge in the end. Chris Eubank Jr. absolutely smoked Liam Smith, that apparently put on 42 pounds during camp, and he had a couple of injuries as well. So it really hasn't been Liam Smith's time since he beat him in January, obviously. That wasn't Chris Eubank Jr. at 60% or 70% or whatever he said in the corner bend build-up, and also in this build-up as well. That was Chris Eubank Jr. at full throttle, 100%, fully recharged. What a difference it was, that performance between January and now. And Brian Burt McIntyre, is he the trainer of the year in boxing? I mean, he's certainly up there now, considering that was such a stark difference from when Eubank was with Roy Jones Jr. And actually, as of today, the news broke that Bomac's actually being held up in Manchester for having a loaded gun. First of all, if that's his from the US, how did that get in the first place? Why is he bringing a gun to the UK? I hope he knows that it's completely different laws out here. But anyway, free up Bomac. Let's hope he gets out of there soon and it doesn't scupper any future Crawford fights. And we also had Ciryl Gane headlining another UFC fight now in Paris, the city of love, but turns out it's also the city of violence, because that was one hell of an event. I mean, the French crowd are absolutely immense. And I'll go on to a little bit about Ciryl Gane and his future in the heavyweight division. But first of all, I just wanted to mention Thug Rose Namajunas' debut at strawweight against Manon Fiorot. Thug Rose lost once again, but for once it wasn't her fault as much as it was in the last fight, and she actually managed to break one of her fingers in the right hand. Picture will come up now of it. If you squeamish, look away. Not very pretty, but that really hindered her performance. So going to Thug Rose, but as soon as she gets her hands sorted, I'm sure she'll be back, and she seemed in a much better headspace compared to the last fight. Now, when talking about the main event or like a UFC fight or the main event of a boxing card, I usually like do a little bit of an analysis into the fight and how it happened or whatever. But I'm not going to do that because it was pretty. Let's be straight here. It was pretty straightforward for Ciryl Gane. That is a textbook easy matchup for him. Spivak's very similar style to Derek Lewis, you know, and like a lot of heavyweight strikers. Very powerful and very tough, but not the most light on their feet like a Gane. He can, with his extremely good footwork, so for his size, it's unbelievable. He can just dance his way around, pick his shots pretty straightforward, and gas his opponents out quickly until they cave in, and that's pretty much what happened really. He just waited until he just found his shots really nicely, moved Spivak around the octagon, made him gas, and then once he could tell he was about to cave in, just finished it off quickly in front of the brilliant French crowd. So expected win, but I'm going to talk more about what this means for the overall heavyweight division of the UFC. Now, I'm for one, and I think a lot of people would agree with me, that since the third and the end of the Stipe Miocic Daniel Cormier trilogy fight, heavyweight division's not been as I don't want to say active, because obviously there's been plenty of heavyweight fights, but it hasn't created the buzz like heavyweights should do in any combat sport. So I feel like it started to pick up the pace recently. Obviously, we've got John Jones, he's moved up and he beat Ciryl Gane, and now he's set to face Stipe Miocic. I think Jones should win that just because Miocic has been out for so long, but you never know. And if John Jones wins that fight, which I'm expecting him to, then honestly, I think he'll retire there. He's given lots of signals saying he's going to retire as his last fight, and I really think he would. I think Miocic is gonna retire no matter what, unless he beats Jones, and then you can get like a rematch going there. But honestly, I think this is the one where both guys are going to call their careers curtains after. And if that does happen, if my Mystic Mac fortune telling is right, then what I think happen or should happen is we get a Ciryl Gane versus Tom Aspinall eliminator, either in Wembley or in Paris. Maybe not actually the Wembley Stadium, maybe do that for an actual perhaps title. But what you could do is you could see, I don't know, a really stacked UK card, I can't talk, with, I don't know, Leon Edwards headlining against someone, I don't know, a welterweight contender like Shavkat or something like that. And then you could have as a co-main event Ciryl Gane versus Tom Aspinall for that eliminator spot, and then whoever wins faces off with Sergey Pavlovich, who will definitely, I think he beat Curtis Blades, and I think he's been at the top for a while and he's been active, so I think he's definitely well within his rights. If John Jones and Miocic call it curtains, he'll be the guy who definitely will be up for the vacant title, 100%, and then I think either Gane or Aspinall. Or what you could do is do Aspinall versus Gane as a main event on like a UFC fight night or whatever in the O2 in London, or you could do it in the arena. They did it in Paris on Saturday night. So you could make that a main event arena fight in either London or Paris, or you could put it as a co-main event on a Leon Edwards title defense. That's what I think should happen, and then whoever wins that goes on to face Pavlovich. I mean, and then whoever wins the Aspinall versus Gane, I think they should have a home fight, and then that should definitely be in a Stade de France or a Wembley, 100%. And that would be a massive fight. But you know, Aspinall versus Gane, from an MMA point of view, I don't think you're going to get much better in heavyweight for a long time. Both extremely light on the feet, on the feet for big guys. I think Aspinall's obviously got probably a bit better than Gane on the ground, but you know, we saw Gane against Spivak. You know, his takedown offense is obviously really improved. He's obviously worked on that hard since the Ngannou loss. And I think, and not the Ngannou loss, the John Jones loss, sorry. So yeah, he's recognised where his weaknesses are, he's strengthening them up, and you know, Gane versus Aspinall, wow, that would be like the Usyk Fury of MMA, just two huge guys but extremely skillful on the feet. Anyway guys, that's it for today. Just a quick one, just want to do a little recap on what I think should be next for the UFC heavyweight division. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll leave my X on my Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and my Instagram down in the description. And also make sure you comment, like, do you think they should do Aspinall versus Gane as like a main event fight night in the O2 or the arena they did the other night in Paris? Or should they put it as a co-main event on the Wembley stacked card pay-per-view title between Leon Edwards and Shavkat or whoever's next? So yeah, hope you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.